A recent trailer for Chapter 5 has ignited a massive debate in the community, with many fans voicing disappointment. But is this backlash truly justified, or are we missing a crucial piece of the puzzle? Stick around as we dive deep into the controversy and uncover all the new details you absolutely need to know. First, regarding the new updates revealed alongside the trailer, if you somehow missed it, one of the biggest mysteries was the identity of a character who appears to be an unidentified ally in the game. While their identity isn't explicitly stated in the trailer, the character's voice actor, Elliot Schiff, later confirmed on Twitter that he was indeed the voice behind Giblet. This is quite exciting, as we first heard the name Giblet through a trademark leak several months ago, and now we finally get to see the character himself. We also received some very reassuring comments from the developers about the upcoming chapter. Spicer, a developer, posted after the trailer's release, stating, "We took all your feedback on Chapter 4 and applied it to this chapter. This is definitely the best work we have done so far, and we hope you love it as much as we do. This provides further reassurance that Chapter 5 will not only be good, but will also directly address fan feedback regarding Chapter 4. While they've made similar statements in the past, it's always good to hear such commitment." Additionally, CG5, not a developer but known for creating a song for Chapter 5, set to release on February 20th, implying he must have played the game, commented under the trailer, "Trust me when I say that this is the craziest chapter of Poppy Playtime." He reiterated this sentiment on his Twitter, another positive sign. Following the trailer's release, the game's Steam page also updated its screenshots. While most appeared to be frames from the trailer, one unseen screenshot was included. This image shows us in an unfamiliar area, with the main character shining a black light on the floor, revealing what looks like artwork of Huggy or Kissy. I must say, I absolutely love this particular gameplay mechanic, especially for potentially discovering secrets. Hopefully, as suggested by this screenshot, there will be hidden messages or secrets that can only be uncovered by using this black light, turning the game's release into a kind of Easter egg hunt. Another neat post-trailer update was to the Poppy Playtime game itself. Upon opening the Chapter Select menu, Chapter 5 now appears with a photo of the prototype. Clicking it doesn't do anything yet, but it's exciting to imagine finally being able to launch the game from there in less than a week. Speaking of updates, the developers also quietly updated all previous chapters, supposedly with some new content. For instance, they updated the banners for Chapters 1 and 2. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to play these updated builds myself. The gameplay you're seeing on screen was sent to me by YouTuber Think Noodles, who did get to experience them. The reason for my inability to play them is that they proved extremely controversial. Reportedly, the updates essentially ported the console versions of the chapters to PC. While this introduced welcome additions like achievements, which were previously unavailable on Steam, it also, especially in Chapter 2, led to significant graphical degradation in certain areas, and introduced numerous new bugs. While the update went largely unnoticed by many, those who played it generally expressed dissatisfaction. However, the good news is that in response to these complaints, Mob Entertainment decided just a few hours later to roll all the games back to their original versions. They made a post on Steam apologizing for the subpar quality, explaining that the update's intention was to improve past chapters in preparation for Chapter 5's release. They also assured us that once the update meets their quality standards and delivers the desired fan experience, it will be re-released, allowing players to unlock achievements once more. So, while the update and achievements are temporarily gone, they are promised to return in a more refined state. They also gave one final update on Chapter 5, stating, "We also want to let you know that our team is working very hard to put the finishing touches on Chapter 5, and we are very confident that it will meet and exceed the high-quality bar we know our fans expect from us." And speaking of quality and fan expectations, let's delve into the main topic of this video, the new trailer's controversy. While many, myself included, found Mob Entertainment's latest trailer incredibly impressive, hinting that Chapter 5 could be a major comeback after Chapter 4, a vocal minority has expressed significant disappointment, claiming the trailer looks bad. From what I've gathered online, two specific reasons underpin this sentiment. First, the design of one of the characters, Lily Lovebraids, and second, the game's general environment. Regarding Lily Lovebraids, Many people simply think her design isn't good, and more specifically, isn't scary. In the shots we see of her in the trailer, even when she's chasing us, she isn't particularly intimidating, especially given her diminutive size. As for the environments, many believe the developers have creatively regressed, making the game much more colorful and, as some critics put it, content farm-like, a criticism previously leveled at chapters like Chapter 2. This vibrant style seen in the trailer starkly contrasts Chapter 4's much duller and darker tone. Addressing these complaints, starting with Lily Lovebraids, in my opinion, these criticisms are largely valid. I don't believe the design is inherently bad or deviates from the established poppy playtime aesthetic, a common complaint about all monsters that I generally disagree with. However, even in my initial trailer breakdown, I couldn't deny that she appeared more cute than menacing, which is a reasonable concern. Though, in fairness, her design isn't drastically different from characters like Mommy Longlegs, who also features a somewhat similar face. Some community members, like Corey, have even shared subtle redesigns that, to me, address some of the character's perceived wonkiness. So I don't see her as a fundamentally flawed concept, perhaps just in need of a few minor tweaks. Regarding the argument that the game's environments appear overly vibrant, or even resemble Garden of Banban, a comparison I've seen frequently, I find this perspective less convincing. The established lore clearly states that areas within the factory occupied by children were deliberately designed to be colorful and friendly. This was intended to distract them and make them feel comfortable before the experiments. Conversely, locations not involving children, such as the prison in Chapter 4, had no need for such vibrant aesthetics, art, or posters, hence their visually duller appearance. Therefore, it makes perfect sense for Chapter 5's locations to be more colorful and reminiscent of earlier chapters, featuring these fake facades. This chapter is set in and around the labs where children were kept, awaiting experimentation. This isn't a deliberate artistic shift by the developers to mimic Garden of Banban or similar styles. It's simply consistent with the established in-game lore. Any stylistic similarity to Garden of Banban is likely coincidental, given that Banban itself drew inspiration from earlier Poppy Playtime chapters. Furthermore, if we're discussing environments, Chapter 3, widely lauded as the series' best, is literally filled with areas that mirror Chapter 5's colorful aesthetic. I genuinely struggle to understand this argument, especially considering past chapters featured a fake playground and an entire cartoonish city. Is a life-size dollhouse now considered too much? Honestly, I suspect many of these complaints stem from post-Chapter 4 pessimism, causing people to latch on to any perceived negative indicators while overlooking the numerous positive signs in this trailer. For instance, the 2-minute showcase reveals multiple new gameplay mechanics and grab pack tools, features largely absent from Chapter 4's entire runtime. Graphically, despite the variety, the environments appear well-polished and impressive. Overall, this drama seems somewhat overblown, fueled by a few minor complaints and a general apprehension of another Chapter 4. We observed a similar phenomenon about a month ago when the Chapter 5 release date was announced, sparking immediate concern even without any gameplay footage. While I won't claim a 2-minute trailer guarantees a good chapter, especially given the past complaints about Chapter 4's gameplay trailer that ultimately materialized into a controversial game, I also believe it's unfair to conclude that the game will be bad based solely on this trailer. If you have any further arguments or points I might have missed, please share them in the comments below. And if you want to stay updated with all things Poppy Playtime, make sure to subscribe to Pixel Lore.